Episode 6 of The Heart Killer begins with Fadel and Style having a flirty and tender moment in the morning. As Fadel's leaving, Style's father show up. He is your usual protective but supportive dad and Style is embarrassed. At Kant's, Babe is reading Othello and tells Bison about Othello being manipulated by a friend. He is so blind in love that he fails to see the betrayal. Feeling guilty, Kant changes the topic. Once Bison leaves, Babe wonders why they lied about the bullying, but Kant doesn't tell him. Kant tells Chris about Roulette and tries to end their partnership. Chris points out that Kant still hasn't identified the hitman's boss. Once the brothers realized he is a mole, they will want revenge. To protect him, they need to take down the whole organization. As a routine, Bison checks the storage room CCTV while Kant texts him. Luckily, Bison gets distracted and leaves before the footage shows Kant snooping around. Later, the brothers are prepping at the restaurant when Bison asks Fadel about Style. Fadel confesses that he likes the mechanic. Bison is delighted and hopes they can one day be true to their partners. Fadel agrees to quit with Bison once they deal with Ruret and the brothers smile. Meanwhile, Kant tells Style about Chris' plan to arrest the brothers. The next day, when they try to assassinate Ruret, they cannot truly stop the brothers without giving themselves away and decide to make the most of their time together. Kant takes Bison to the bowling alley while it is closed and shares he wants this date to be special. At this, Bison jokingly wonders if Kant has done something wrong. Elsewhere, Fadel takes Style to his favorite metal club. Style wants to confess but ends up screaming that he is not a heavy metal fan. An amused Fadel reveals he knows this and wants to know the real Style, but as punishment for lying, he puts corpse paint on Style. Style wants them to be their real selves together, and Fadel gives in as he too puts corpse paint on. Both couples have fun on their respective dates. Later, Bison jokes that they may be arrested for trespassing. At this, Kant begs him to run away with him. Bison is apologetic but promises to quit the restaurant and be all his the day after tomorrow. Kant accepts their fate and, as one last gift, displays the northern lights on the projector. It is Bison's wish to go to the Iceland and they indulge in daydreaming. Similarly, Fadel is all smiles by the end of the night. Style tries to stop him as well, but Fadel refuses. He too notices that Style is acting like something is wrong and promises to be with him after he does one last thing. Operation Roret begins and it is at a scholarship event. Chris and his men are undercover, while Bison and Fadel dress up as school mascots. Once Fadel gets a clear shot at Ruret, he shoots. However, Bison spots Bay with Ruret and jumps in between to protect him. The bullet misses Ruret and the hitmen are forced to hide as the cops searches for them. Babe tells Kant and Style and they realize his savior in his Bison. Style wants to check on Fadel but Kant stops him and tells him to move on. Meanwhile, Fadel is furious with Bison for ruining the mission. Bison knows that Fadel never misses his aim, but he anyway let these emotions get the better of him. Mother figures there is a snitch and tells the brothers to find and kill the person. The boys are upset, but Fadel entertains the idea that Kant and Style may be police informants. In the following days, Style and Kant check the restaurant but find it closed. They see Bison's cat and Kant adopts him. Style hopes they will return since they care for him and Kant. However, Kant believes one should prioritize oneself. Style keeps checking and one day finds Fadel at the restaurant. However, Fadel wonders if Style has done something wrong for being overly affectionate. Style reveals that he simply missed him. Elsewhere, Kant is drinking alone when Bison visits him. They are interrupted by Gray's call, but Kant doesn't pick up. However, Bison is forced to leave for work. Style is helping close the restaurant when Bison calls Fadil. After the call, Fadil plays romantic music and tells Style that he is in love with him. They dance and Fadil looks upset. A flashback at the end of the Heartkiller episode 6 shows Bison following Kant, who meets up with Chris and his officers. He is so shocked as he calls Fadil and confirms that Style and Kant are the snitchers. He thinks of his time with Kant and tears up.